cream. The other side is burnt orange. It's part of what makes this so iconic. Let's go!
It's our side versus your side, and nowhere to hide on the Saturday in the Cotton Bowl. Absolutely unique.
Matthew Golden is a wide receiver who ranks among the more decorated and explosive skill players in his draft class. He committed to Houston, where he scored 13 touchdowns while playing in 20 games for the Cougars, including 2 touchdowns on kick return duties, establishing himself as one of the team's difference makers. After suffering an injury with 3 games remaining in the season, he decided to enter the transfer portal. Transferring to Texas, where he became a standout player, torching defenses with his elite speed and playmaking ability. Two-head Turner. He was previously projected as a late first-round pick, but his impressive combine performance likely elevates him into consideration as one of the top 2 wide receivers on the board. He has definitely proven his elite status, football family, so let's break him down and see what this player is all about. So on this play here, with a player like Golden, he has been used at all wide receiver positions while at Texas. And the same goes for when he played at Houston. And this is what the better scouts love to look for: versatility. You'll see him here running a skinny post route. With his ability, he has a knack for being a top salesman, selling routes and forcing these defenders to overthink. And this is something he did consistently while at Texas. And I'm sure it'll be the same for any NFL team that he's on. So activating the system. So running this play here, just watching Golden, I love to see wide receivers with a good understanding of where the holes are when it comes down to these defenses. Splitting right in between both of those guys, but locking in on Golden's footwork, you see that he caught that defender off guard by planting that right foot. And usually all it takes is one move after the catch to put yourself into position for a chunk play. And it was about 5 guys that was chasing him down. He does run a 4.29, but when you got guys coming from behind you, coming from the corner, you will get walked down sometimes. But more times than not, he has the speed to be able to take this to distance. And with this player transferring from Houston, he came right into Texas being one of the main impact players on his team. And that's actually saying a lot because there was a lot of talent on that team this past year. But if you can be able to find a receiver that has the ability to be able to take it the distance on any given play, it can open up everything for the whole offense. And when you do have that kind of speed, you will see a lot of NFL teams running 2 safety shells, easing things up when it comes down to that front 7, and that's how you can be able to run a ball. And with some of these receivers that come out of the NFL draft, they are very fast, but some of them might have issues as far as the route tree. Well, you do not get that when it comes down to this player. He has the ability to be able to do it all and be effective early on. So great play by Golden, finding a hole in the defense and getting a chunk play. Here's a rep where Golden showcases his elite route running ability with the perfectly executed rocker step on a post route. He sells the outside break smoothly, getting the defender to bite before cutting sharply inside. And if this route is done right, it creates immediate separation, allowing Golden to break free and score a touchdown, leaving the defender on the highlight reel. So we'll go ahead and split it. Just looking at this play here, just studying the movements from Golden, you see that he's leaning towards the hashes to force that defender to overthink, and he quickly knifes inside. And with this type of athlete, if he can catch you off guard, he is too fast for the defender to be able to recover, completely gaining separation and scoring an easy touchdown. And if you're one of the NFL teams and you're looking for those big-time players, what are these guys doing in the most important games? And this was a playoff game here against Arizona State. They were going back and forth. But Matthew Golden and the rest of those wide receivers were stressing out this defense all 4 quarters. But to see this player going out there running skinny post, you can use fade routes, single rocker steps, double rocker steps, anything to be able to clip the top off the defense is fireworks when it comes down to the wide receiver position. But seeing him going out there and putting that defender in the blender and scoring a touchdown was a thing of beauty, finding ways to get it done. With Matthew Golden, one of the things that brings the best out of him is when you're utilizing him in motion and executing quick hitch routes. Throughout this entire season, he displayed precise footwork that keeps these defenders off balance. He's literally playing chess out there while these DBs are playing checkers. You'll see good body control, sinking his hips, and exploding out of his brakes. And playing in the NFL, you gotta run those crisp routes if you're going to be trusted by quarterbacks in short area situations. And with Golden, he definitely does that. So let's run it. So running this play here, just watching him, he's motioning. Just love to see this player on the move. He's such a smooth athlete, getting to the top of his breaks and running a quick hitch route. And not only is he fast, he does have that elite start-stop ability and catching the ball with his hands. Now, there were some questions about his drops that he's had throughout his career. He's going to have to be consistent once he gets to the NFL. No prospect is perfect, but he's a player that has made big-time plays at Texas, Houston, getting busy in high school. The list goes on and on. And he was a track athlete as well. I think he ran a 10.93 in a 100-meter dash. So that just shows that this guy's a multi-talented player that has played other sports. But utilizing this player on motion plays, just keeping him on the move and forcing these defenses to have something else to think about is always good. So getting to the top of your route and breaking to the ball and making a catch is something that we all want to see. Finding ways to get those routine catches and keep the offense flowing. Here's a quick rep of him blocking. Now, he can always get better in this department, but I like to see effort, and that's always a good start. So locking on this play, this running back here, he's getting the ball, but zooming in on Golden, he locks in on him. He got his hands on the outside. You want to keep your hands on the inside of these players, but he completely throws this guy down. And this is what you want to see when it comes down to that wide receiver position. Because if you want to be one of those receivers that can be on all three downs, you got to be able to have the ability to be able to block or at least get in these guys' way. But the running back didn't score a touchdown, but there will be times on Sundays where you have to go out there and get those dirty yards. So seeing him completely floor that defender was good to see by Golden. Here's a clip right here of him motioning inside. He was assigned to block this defender right here, but the player knifes inside and beats Golden and forced a bad play, hitting a running back and completely ruining this rep. In my opinion, I don't think that he should be the type of wide receiver that's blocking in this area, but just blocking in general, I think that that's something that he could be able to work on. He will give good effort from time to time, like the last clip, but consistency is key. So we'll go ahead and spin it. So locking on this play here, you see he's motioning inside, not really paying attention to that defender, and he was able to get to that running back. And sometimes when you are motioning in like that, you have to pay attention to every defender on the field because all it takes is half a second for these guys to ruin the play. So he hits the running back, and the running back tries to pass it back to Ewers, but this play was already bad from the get-go. So they ended up getting a safety, and that play ended up going wrong because of that missed block from Golden. Now, this is something that doesn't happen with him all the time, but I have to show you guys the good plays as well as the bad plays when it comes down to these prospects. There are a ton of things that this player can be able to do, but as far as blocking consistently and knowing his assignment, that is something that he can be able to sharpen up because these plays right here can end up being backbreaking when it comes down to the team. With a player like Matthew Golden, he has a knack for being able to run fade routes and the ability to be able to track the ball down in the air. He is 5'11", but he displays impressive vertical leaping ability and body control to secure the jump ball over taller defenders. And his hand strength and concentration when competing for 50-50 balls add another dimension to his already diverse skill set as a wide receiver. So let's run it. So running this play here, just watching him getting outside leverage. A lot of these corners, they're playing them so close up, but when you're running a 4.29, that is a dangerous thing to do when it comes down to this talent. But tracking the ball down and securing a catch. And when you have a wide receiver that can be trusted on 50-50 balls, that's going to allow this player to go out there and make even more plays. And with the NFL now, it is a passing league. So you want players that have good route running, good catch point. You got to have that big time playmaking ability downfield. And this is a player that has all the traits to be able to get that done. So lining this player up at both outside wide receiver position, you can have him off the line of scrimmage in a slot position. He's going to torture a lot of these cornerbacks, and I think that it's going to be early as year one. So seeing this player running that fade route and tracking down that ball was a thing of beauty. So in this final play here, you'll see him catch a touchdown running an out route. With his ability to run a full route tree combined with his elite speed, NFL teams will be calling for his services early in this draft. It's going to be exciting to see how this translates on Sundays. So let's run it. So looking at this play here, just watching Ewers, he's rolling to the right. Seeing Golden getting to the top of his route, and he's gaining that separation. I mean, a lot of these times, man, you got to find these guys that can separate, tracking down that ball, and making a big-time catch. The thing is, if you're going to be a big-time receiver in the NFL, you got to make those spectacular catches in the most important times of these games, getting both of his feet down and scoring a touchdown. So when you're looking at a lot of these draft prospects, you got Ted McMillan, Luther Burden, Egbuka. The list goes on and on when it comes down to these talented wide receivers. But with Matthew Golden, when you have a player that's running a 4.29, you can run all the routes in a route tree, you were good on and off the field, productive at Houston. These are the kind of players here that has what it takes to make a difference. And sometimes all it takes is for a fast 40-yard dash to move these players up on draft boards. It is literally the same thing that happened with Xavier Worthy. So comment below and let me know what you guys think about Matthew Golden and who else do y'all want me to break down just like this video. So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell because the way the YouTube algorithm works, if you don't hit it, you'll miss on fire live streams and the best football film sessions on YouTube. All right, football family. Talk to y'all soon. Gone.